Hello again. This week I'm going to look at one of the themes, which means we're not going to worry too much about the functionality of the clue, more about where a whole sort of section of terminology has come from. So I'll go straight into the clue, we'll have a look at the answer, and we'll try and work out where on earth it's come from. So, time that flies, question mark. 4 letters, time that flies, question mark. Now, as I said, I'm not going to worry about breaking this down too much. I'll tell you straight away. The answer is bird. And you might instantly know why that is. It depends how well versed you are in your criminology. Because whilst crosswords, and I've said this a few times, come from that very sort of refined gentleman's club kind of era. So there's a lot of Latin references, a lot of cricket, the things that the well-bred people are supposed to know about. There's also a surprisingly large number of jail terms that come up quite a lot in crosswords. And bird is one of them. Doing bird, doing time, they're directly equivalent. So time that flies, bird. Birds fly. There is a word for time, bird. It breaks down fairly simply. But if you don't know that that is another word for being in prison, you might sort of stumble upon this answer. You might get a couple of letters and think it's got to be, but I don't know why. And there are a lot of prison terms, as I said. So bird, stir. Don't know if you heard that one. Doing stir, I think, is a similar expression. That's just for serving time in prison. A prison itself, you always have to remember that obviously you can spell jail 2 ways, the slightly older English Oscar Wilde kind of way. Then you've got jail and clink, nick, slammer, all these words. Nick in particular, because of course that's the verb as well, so you've got a couple of ways that can play. And these can all go both ways, so they can reference back to time, can be used, can be derived from these. You might see them as answers, you might see them as pieces of functionality, but there is that little world of sort of criminality that crops up in the middle of this very sort of gentlemanly opera and Latin and plant names lexicon that the crosswords tend to have. And the most important one, con. Obviously there's an awful number of words in the English language that start con or have con in them somewhere, and if you see prisoner or bird, again jailbird can be a person as well as doing time, so you could very well be suggesting that con is in the answer somewhere. So criminal, prisoner, transgressor, anything that suggests someone on the wrong side of the law could be meaning con is in the answer. That's really common. And I actually just picked this one as the example because that was in yesterday's Guardian, set by Paul, the Saturday Guardian. But yes, just be aware that in amongst all of the very posh stuff, there's a ton of things about crime, basically. So happy solving with all the jail stuff.